Alright, this is the day in the garden with the man behind the camera. Alright, the day in the garden. Today's Sunday, I believe is the 14th. Right, and I'm out in the garden. I'm doing Sawa Sawa. I'm going to do some crain-crain. I'm not really going to do potato leaves. If I had to step back a little bit, you guys are going to see the potato leaf in the background over there. I'm not going to do it. I think I might be able to do the crain-crain, and the Sawa Sawa just started already. Okay, so guess what? Just a little bit of tip and tricks. The garden is very, very important. If you have the land, it will be a shame for it to go to waste if you don't even plant even a little one pot pepper. And the thing is not just to just plant it, okay? You have to tend the crop. In other words, you have to water it. A lot of times when plant grows, they have what you call with them, they come with weed, so you got to weed them out, because the weed will be actually taking on the nutrient. They will be actually absorbing the nutrient in the soil as well, hence compromising the plant, because you don't eat the weed, you don't eat the grass. It's the plant you want. So you got to tend it, and more especially like in the East Coast, where we have this heat that comes along in the summer. You definitely need to water the plant, because if you don't water the plant, it's going to die. And really, if the plant has gone to a stage where it's actually got the plant shock, it's not coming back up. If you're lucky enough to catch it before it gets the plant shock, then yes, it's going to come back up. But away from that, if you let it go into that stage, guess what? It's not going to come back up. So you got to water the plant, and just something that a lot of people don't even realize. All right, the plants you get in the store, in the supermarket, or wherever you get them, they all have been chemicalized, because if they don't put chemicals in them, there's a lot of insects and wildlife that's going to come on the plant, and it's going to eat the plants. And a lot of times, even those plants that has been eaten by the insects, they're going to still get them together, because it's going to make the pack, right? But when you plant your stuff, this is what happens. You know what you're eating, right? You don't have to put no chemicals in your plant. The only thing I would do, because I do as well, fertilizer. And of course, you can put organic fertilizer in the form of manure, cow manure, chicken manure, goat manure, horse manure. Those are actual organic fertilizers, which does work as well. You can actually put manufacturers and fertilizer, okay? And that's the steroids on the plants. So, but you need to fertilize the plant, because if you don't, guess what happens now? They're not going to grow so well. More especially if you don't like the right type of soil, doing compost and things like that. I do compost, I still fertilize. One thing I shy away from a lot of times is the chemical, because according to a lot of these plants, like the Sawa Sawa, the cassava leaves, and the crain-crain, they're really not susceptible to insect. The only thing those plants could be susceptible to is, God forbid, an animal jumps through the fence. It comes in your friend's animal, meaning like a raccoon, hedgehog or groundhog, a possum. Those things, they're vegetarians. They're going to eat your leaves. They will pluck the leaves. They know how to pluck the leaves. They don't eat the stem. They just pluck the leaves. So, but once you protect your yard, sometimes I know they climb, but they're also lazy. They're like thieves. They're lazy. Okay, so if you protect the yard, you don't give them easy access, you'll never see them. All right. So, but the thing is, you need to plant something at least, because what happens is, once you plant, you're good to go, and that's what it is, right? Let me fix my hat properly. Yeah, just in case a lot of you guys didn't know, man. Maybe anyway, I'm Rasta man. Rasta. Don't smoke weed though, because a lot of people think when you're Rasta, you smoke weed. No, you don't. You don't have to be a Rasta to smoke weed. Remember that. Rastaism is the spiritualness of you, the man, the observation of life, the observation of naturality. Anyway, so this is the deal, like I was saying. So it's good to plant, and I just don't plant the vegetables. I also plant flowers, because flowers is good. You plant flowers, you can never go wrong with that. Okay, but really, you can plant fever grass, which is lemongrass. It's very, very good. That's very good stuff, herbal stuff. You can plant oregano, you can plant thyme. Those things are easier things to plant. Tomato is also easy to plant. Right? The peppers, they need a lot of patience. But even at that, those plants, you cannot plant them and just leave them by themselves, because guess what? They're going to die. You have to tend to them, just like everything in life. You cannot just say, yes, okay, now I have this, and I forget about it. Just like your car. You have a car, and you just drive. You don't care to maintain it, to change the oil, to make sure everything is going right. The car is going to die. So it's the same with the plants. We make garden, and I have my garden site called Backyard Garden. I also belong as an administrator to Backyard Gardens and Cooking, which is really the site I really tend to patronize on, because my site is actually a group, but this Backyard Gardens and Cooking is actually what is it? No, one is a group and the other one is a team or whatever they call it. Anyway, so but basically that's what it is. You have to plant, and compost is very good to make. And compost, you get a drum, like a busted garbage can container, plastic is good. You put holes in it, and all your vegetable scrap, no meat, no chicken, no nothing like that, just vegetables, your peeling, your potato peelings, your banana, your orange, everything, just throw it in there and add soil and water it, and throw it in there and add soil. You're gonna see, you're gonna have one of the best soil ever. And that's, again, like I say, organic. That's an organic soil right there. Because people talk about organic, they don't really realize what constitutes organic is when it's all natural stuff. There's nothing added there that by man-made, right? It's just natural stuff. You get that? And I mean, okay, another thing, a factor that affects a lot of people that they don't plant is the water. It can raise up your water bill, okay, if you're using city water. We are lucky in a little bit because we have a well. Not the conventional well that people know that you got to go get water in. This is a well system that actually pumps the water into your house. We have a water purification system in the basement, okay? And I have abundance of water, so I could actually, use the water. But we still suffer from drought in the sense that what happens, right? If it's really, really dry, then the sediment will be coming from the ground, and then the pressure will go low. But then that's the time you change the tank. So water is one of the factors. So if you know you have a water problem, it's going to be a lot of water bill, guess what? You don't have to plant a lot. And then maybe you're not geared to actually sell your crops, because to sell your crops, you need a lot of crops. You need a lot of land space, so, but for yourself, like you say, if you into herbs, you could do thyme, oregano, parsley, cilantro, basil. All those things are easy to grow. You can grow them in a little bit of a pot, right? They're very, very easy to grow. Now, if you want to go big time now, that's the time you start planting the potato leaves, right? Because you need a lot of potato leaves. You're going to go okra, you need a lot of these. Pepper. I mean, if you want to, like I say, in the terms of if you're thinking of selling it, and selling it means, I mean, it's what they call subsistent farming. You're not selling it to make money as such, you're selling it to subsidize your income. So before you go to work, say you go to work on Sunday, they pay you what, 15 an hour, you go spend 10 hours at work, and you can plant something and make 150 on a Sunday. Guess what? In the confines of your house, which one do you prefer? So that's the way I look at life, because hey, I've always been an entrepreneur. That's me. I would look on things that way to say, hey, 15 bucks an hour, $20 an hour, you do 10 hours, 8 hours, that's 160. I can make that money, and not being boastful because I don't make it all the time, but aggregate over a period of time, I could make that money, on the side. And if you have a main job, you have a side job, it's not like you're looking to make the same money you're making on your main job. That's not possible because it's only 24 hours in the day. How are you going to do that? Okay? So, but that's basically what it is. And I decided to make this video today because, again, like I said, I've been trying to make video. But I said, I'm going to try this one because now I'm trying to get stuff onto YouTube. How to grow your garden. It's easy to grow your garden. All you need is a little bit of a space. A 12 by 24 to do you. A 6 by 24, a 4 by 24, can do. You can grow, you can partition it and grow most of the things that you eat, like crain-crain. And I mean, this is strictly again for Africans or West African or people from Sierra Leone, right? You could grow crain-crain, Sawa Sawa, right? Your bolagi, right? And most of the time as well, depending on where you live, you can grow things in the pot. They will still grow. Okay, but the only thing is, there's one thing that you have to do. You have to take care of the crops, because if you do not take care of the crops, forget about it. Okay, it's not gonna materialize. It's going to die. So you got to take care of it. Some people plant and they go on vacation. They come back 4 days, everything is dead. They say, what happened? Well, you went on vacation in July when it's so hot. The plants need water every day. So you're going to come back, the plant's going to die. No matter what fertilizer you put in it, no matter what water you put in it, the plant has gone through the shock, is dead. You know, the same way a human being will go through heat wave or heat shock, that's the same way the plant goes through the same thing. We're all living organisms. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that is common amongst us. Okay, so but basically, like I say, you have to, take time. Like I say, what I do, I start work at 8 sometimes. I start work at 9, but I come out, because the summertime is light up in the morning. You come out, maybe 6 o'clock, you water your garden, do some weeding, you go take care of business, you go to your job. Well, we're fortunate, again, I'm fortunate, I'm working from home, so I don't have to travel. But even when I used to travel 1.5 hours, I still used to wake up earlier and still do the garden. Okay, so really and truly, there's no excuse, so you do your garden. And one thing I'm going to say in this video is easy money if you want to make money, because you have seeds that come out of the crops that you could sell. I mean, okay, you're not selling the seeds like for $15, and so a lot of people don't believe like little drops of water or incremental approach is for how you make money. You want to say, well, I need to sell something for $100. But if you're selling $3 packet of seeds, right? By the time you sell 3,000, you do the maths. By the time you sell 100, you do the maths. So, and it happens. And how are you going to sell it? You're going to promote it. You're not just going to put the stuff there. Nobody knows that you're selling seed. And we have a lot of social media today. You have eBay, you have ST, you have so many sites that you can sell from. Amazon, you can do whatever, and it's all side income. Okay. Now, if you're not into that, then obviously no one's forcing you to do it. It's up to you, because again, in life it depends on the level that you really want to attain, because that's what it is. It depends what turns you on, and that's how you do things. So basically, like I say, with the garden, that's how you'll be doing the garden. And what I'm going to also do now, I'm just going to move this camera a little bit towards the garden, because now the what do you call it, the sun has come down a little bit. Now you wouldn't be able to see this, but you see the bloody things that coming to eat up the plant again. Yeah, but that's the garden, and you're gonna see me now for the rest of the time. You're gonna see me picking the Sawa Sawa. Okay. And that's me. I don't know if you guys can see. Yes, you can. So that's Sawa Sawa. Can you turn my back? You see, this is what I say. If there's a bunch of Sawa Sawa right now. You see, you'll be surprised what you gain out of this, right? And you see, that's how you pluck it. And I will show you guys later on how you're gonna leave the the stem. Anyway, you won't stand all the way over here. I don't even know if you can see me, guys, but I mean, you can hear me, I should say. But guess what? That's the way the garden goes. And remember, for tips and tricks, and if you're really, really, really interested in gardening, like I say, follow my channels. This is what I do. I love doing it. It's part of my hobby, if you want to call it that way. All right? And the way I looked at it, God gave us the land. You know what I mean? Use it to the best of your ability. And I'm telling you, no kidding. You know, you do make, I mean, even if it's your beer money, even if it's your gas money, you know what I mean? Because if they're paying you X amount of money and that's one money is what you have to take to use to do everything, you're going to be broke most of the time. Except you're making big money, then okay, that's a different story altogether. Because guess what? Again, this life is a stage. Everybody has a level. So yes, maybe you're bringing home $10,000 a month, $20,000, $30,000 a month. You're going to say, you know, I don't want to be bothered with this, you know, and maybe I'll just grow a little bit of garden for myself. But I'm not making that kind of money. So because I'm not making that kind of money, I have to subsidize my income. Okay, and when I subsidize my income, I can match a lot of those money. All right, and that's what it is. And just getting your priorities right. You know, basically, you know, like I said, you have the land. You know, this is the first thing I realized when I came over here. I realized that we got the land. And if in that case we got the land, guess what? I'll be loath not to, you know, utilize it. And that's basically what I do. I just tend to utilize it, you know, to the best of my ability, to the best of my whatever I'm doing. And that's what I do. Just utilize it. You know, you can never go wrong, right? And this is going to be a 20 minutes video, because these ones I'm going to be uploading them to, you know, to YouTube. Because right now it's like we have to serve the community, and the way you serve the community is not just your community. You got to serve the world. People are going to look at this. They're going to be inspired. They're going to say, whoa, man, if this guy can do it, I can do it too. Right? And then you'll be surprised, because a lot of times we tell the people, oh, you guys should be doing this, oh, you guys should be doing that. But then they don't see you doing it. So guess what? Their zeal level is not that strong, because they don't see you doing it. But if they see you doing it, you know, and if they say you're a big man, you see big man doing it, guess what? They're going to do it too. And that's inspiration, because I can tell you for nothing, you know, for nothing, you know, because a lot of times, like we said, people just lie, they tell lies, they fake things that they are and they're not. And you now sitting over there, guess what? You're gonna be feeling bad. And all it is they're just faking stuff. You know, they're not being practical. And you know the world is full of fakes. You know, they fake everything. They fake the Louis Vuitton, they fake the Gucci, you know, they fake the degrees. You know, look, see that? That's Sawa Sawa. I get one of these leaves as well for you. You see that? That is Sawa Sawa. Some people will say that's the 5-leaf Sawa Sawa. You see that? That's a 4-leaf Sawa Sawa. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So they all taste the same. They all get the same results. And like I said, somebody asked me earlier on, how do you know to pick the plant? Once the plant has gone up to like 12 inches in height, you can pick the plant. You don't have to wait for the leaves to grow really broad. Because if they grow really broad, what happens is they're not soft anymore. They're very hard. It's not like you cannot eat them. You're going to be able still to eat them, but they're hard. The leaves are very hard, and you don't want it that way. You know, it's just like this collard green. It's something, in fact, I think I'm going to pick today as well if I can. I'm saying I'm picking all these things, right? Well, I'm going to try, but that's all you can do. You try. You know, there's nothing attempted, nothing done. You know, but even though I'm talking and I'm doing a video, you could see how the cooler is already. Right, and now I'm gonna go into the garden. I'm gonna go get some more in there. Right, and in the meantime, I did see one of this okra. Oh, he's standing up anyway, so it's good. You know, I'm gonna go into the garden. I'm gonna go over that side actually, this side. But again, that's Sawa Sawa over here. You know, so we can pick this. And basically what it is like with these things, when you pick them, guess what? They just propagate. Because they don't have all that leaves that they have to take care of. They have less leaves for the nutrient to go. So guess what? It goes to the other leaves and they just propagate. And that's what it is. I have Sawa Sawa all over the yard. It's just the same way like the way I have crain-crain. I have them all over. And these are the things, these are one of our favorite African dishes that we cook, or African soup. You know, Sawa Sawa egusi soup. And like I say, it has that vitamin C. Very, very rich in vitamin C. So, you know, and as you can see, I know you can see me over here, and I keep saying as you can see, as you can see, as you can see, but I'm actually seeing Sawa Sawa even underneath this growth. But one of the things with this garden, when you plant in the soil, like I was saying earlier on, you have to contend with the weed. That is the growth, these growth. And sometimes when it's time to take the growth out, you got to make sure you're not actually rooting the plant, because if you root the plant is going to go into plant shock, and it's going to take, you know, a couple of weeks for it to resurrect itself. And because we have that limited summer, you cannot really afford to be doing that. You got to make sure you're doing things correctly. You know, you take your time, you look at it, follow the plant, follow the roots, usually. And for a lot of these undergrowth, because they're trying to grow, you know, they tend to grow tall, right? And so you can actually easily get them. And they use up a lot of the nutrient. Look, I was showing you all that. And what I do is I just throw them onto the grass. And they, you know, because right now that the weather is not really good, well, no, it's not the weather, it's not good. It's really dry, it's not been raining, right? It's good for them to go on the grass, okay? And a lot of times, like when you do that, this is what happens. So I'll just go get the hose and just wash my hands again. And now I can continue. Okay, see? And the reason why you tend to wash your hands if you've got dirt in it, because you gotta wash the plant. And the one thing you don't want to introduce into it really, I mean, it's not that you don't want to still wash it out now, you can, but what's the point of introducing soil into it, right? It's a whole 30 minutes video because I'm putting it on. Remember I was showing you guys leaves, you see how broad this one is? Look at that. See? This is good in a way, but it's not really good in a way. It's too big, right? It's not bad, but it's a little bit too big. Because this is usually the last stuff I tend to harvest. let's see where are we now in this video. I think I have done quite a bit on this side. Yeah. And the good thing as well, doing it around this time, guess what? You have less insects bugging you. Okay, you see? You guys can see how much Sawa Sawa I'm getting. Look at that. Look at that. You know. I mean, before we go to the farm to go pick this stuff, and just for the hell of it, we come into what, 28? If you could see, you can see my peppers. Now I gotta pick those too. I got a lot of peppers coming, getting ripe and things, so I have to pick them. And just like I say, you grow in pots, it doesn't matter if you have the space. And one of the things we have the space, so we just utilize it. You see all them peppers, all these peppers getting ready. Look at that. See them getting ready. I have to pick them. See, all this is pepper. More pepper over there. See? You know, these are hitchhikers that usually will be going, and unfortunately they've not really done anything for themselves. Okay, so now we're gonna go over to this part, to this other Sawa Sawa. Oh yeah, I needed to go over that other one over there, but this one is necessary. The reason why this one is really necessary, because swinging. Because guess what? Because this Sawa Sawa, yeah, it's so funny. This was the first one I started with these ones. Yep. So I'm gonna go get my bucket. I think it's gone over. Like I say, it's all about Sawa Sawa. It's all about Sawa Sawa. So that's the bucket. These are our loads. You can get them from Home Depot as well. So there again we go. I can tell you 3 different varieties. That's one variety, Sawa Sawa. Other variety, Sawa Sawa. And third, I know it's here somewhere. Don't let me down. That sun for. Yeah, this one. In fact, you got one more variety, right? And let me see. Is it here? No, it's only among these. What is the broadleaf? You have the broadleaf one. So you see, that's one variety right there in the bucket. Like I keep saying, this is the one that looks like marijuana, but it's not. You can smoke it if you like. That's another one. Let me go get you another variety, show you guys another variety whilst I'm on the subject, but I don't see it over here. People call this one 3 leaves. See? But like I say, I'm gonna do like that, and I'm gonna cut it, not too fine. Then you're gonna steam it, and then you drain all the water, and then I vacuum seal them. Now I have Sawa Sawa to last throughout the year. So you see that oh, this video now is very good, because now you can see what I'm really doing. See that? Leave the stems. Just pluck the leaves, because there's Sawa Sawa growing on the side. Okay, that's coming out on the side. So they need to populate. And so what will happen is, so long as you have these stems, I mean, these leaves like these is going to stop them from populating, more especially when they're in the pot. Okay, because the roots don't have, like they can try, sometimes the roots them actually break through the pot, not physically break into the pot, but the holes that is in the pot, they will get through that hole and try to get some, some other help somewhere in terms of nutrients. But in order for these ones to propagate, if you pick this, you're going to give them a chance to do that. Okay? And just like with everything, air is very, very important. Right? A lot of people don't know that the plants, they actually rely on air as well. And they do, because chemical composition, they have nitrogen, they give out nitrogen, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, H2O, water, so if they have the air mixed in with this, and the air can go through the plant itself, they tend to propagate even more, because now all of a sudden the wind can go through them, right? And you'll see, I'll show you guys these plants today to date. And then the most funny thing with all these things, you will never ever believe. You look at the plants, you might think, oh, it's not a lot. Only when you start picking it, then you realize, whoa, I don't even believe I have all this Sawa Sawa. Yes, you do. And this, again, is not a delicacy, but guess what? In Sierra Leone, Freetown, Sierra Leone, West Africa, Sawa Sawa. And I believe the Indians, they eat it too. The Asians, I believe they eat it too. So I don't know how they cook theirs, but hey, guess what? You can see I'm on this stalk. You can see the stem. You see the stem? I don't know if you guys can see the stem. You see how big the stem is? And that's what they'll do. They grow big stems like these and just populates like mother nature. It makes them populate, and bring a lot. And like I said, don't wait for the leaves to be big, because they're gonna be big and strong and hard. Now look at this. Take a look at this too. Right? You see how dark green this one is? You see how light green this one is? This has been there for a long time. Yes, it's gonna have a lot of things to it, but what happens is the veins get thicker, so they don't really melt in the pot. These veins are, they're thinner, and it's easy for them to melt. So that's the other reason why, in terms of Sawa Sawa, you don't really leave it like that, because look at the vein. Look how the vein. Sometimes when you do the plant, that's what you do. Look, see how thick it is? This is not going to melt in the pot. So that's the other reason why you don't leave it for it to go too big and green or darker. Okay, but basically that's what it is. Like I said, this particular video has to do with Sawa Sawa. And look, I was actually looking for that other one. I saw it. I told you it was here. The other variety. It's right here. Again, what I'm going to do now, when I've just did it, because now it's going to give it opportunity to grow. See, really? I mean, I get my seeds directly from Sierra Leone. I wouldn't say that it's dandy to get the seeds, because there's a lot of times people don't want to bring the seeds, because sometimes the immigration custom will be giving them gift. But again, you can get the seeds, because there's an international organization that actually sells seeds. So they can do it internationally, because it's coming from the company. So they don't really ball out that much. Okay. So basically, what I'm doing out of this plant is going to thank me. Or these plants are going to really thank me, because now it's like I've created that opening where they can really breathe. And like I said, they really live well. Some people when they do this, they really take everything off. Everything. Well, I don't do that to you. I always tend to leave something on the plants. Not everything. Just leave something. Yeah. So probably what I'm going to do, like You see, this video is all about Sawa Sawa. I woke up with the brain wave to say I got to do my YouTube videos now, because I've been doing videos, but I've not been doing them on YouTube. Or I've not been uploading them, even though I have videos on YouTube, but I've not been active. So before I'm putting it on the garden site alone, so now I'm going to be doing YouTube. So that way I'm out there as well. That way, Farmer Kacey is out there. Alright? So that's what it is. You got to be out there. We're taking it, or I am saying, Team Kacey too is taking it to the other level next year, God willing. Alright? Because the truth is, if you just do one circle of people, that's where you're going to end. But if you start doing stuff, because this Sawa Sawa is international, it's not like it's just unique to us. You know, in West Africa, it's international. Like I say, the Haitians, I know the Indians, I know as well, they use it. I believe some other parts of Africa, because most of this stuff is really from Africa. All the Africans actually do eat it. And basically, just in case for those watching and seeing what it is, what do you guys do with this? We cook it as soup. The only difference with Sawa Sawa, from where I'm from, we cook it as egusi soup. So that could be cooked with palm oil, or some people, they just say what they call white soup. Well, they usually will say wheat soup, which is white soup. They don't use palm oil, just cook it that way. You know, either way, it tastes delicious. Either way, you know. So that's basically what it is, folks. So I hope you really enjoyed this video and you've seen what you need to do. Basically, in terms of growing your own crops, as you can see, and you have to spend the time to do it. You have to take the time to do it. You know what I mean? You kind of just say, well, hey, this thing is going to grow. Hey, this thing, and when I'm going to come outside and I'm going to pick. No, sir. You got to take the time, because the time is what gives you the benefit. The time is what yields the benefit. It's just like an investment. You got to invest in order to get the gains. But guess what? You don't invest, are you going to get the gains? You have to be in it, right, to win it. Just like the lottery, they say. You know, you got to be in it to win it. If you're not in the lottery, how are you going to get it? You can't. See? And like I say, this is easy money. Easy money. It's just like snow. There's so many easy money, like snow. You know what I mean? You get a snow plow truck, which I used to have. My Jeep Wrangler double, that's a snow plow truck. Right? You have a snow plow truck. It snows, you go plow the snow. Easy money. And that's what they call white gold. So it's the same like this. Now this is green gold. You know what I mean? Green gold. And be liberal. Don't be shy of that, actually. But like I said, the things, every one of them has branches coming off. And those ones, like I said, once you do this, these stems are gonna fall within a week. All this one's gonna fall, you know, and it's gonna give rise to the other ones to grow. And that's why you gotta pick it. So Sawa Sawa, on the normal try with Sawa Sawa, usually I'll be able to get this one at least 3 times before the weather changes. In other words, before it gets cold, you'll be able to get Sawa Sawa. The only thing we don't get out of this over here on the East Coast are the seeds, which they call, again, we call it shopper. I don't know the English word for it. You know, you don't get the seeds because the weather, if we had warm weather till December, then yes, we will get the seeds. But we don't have that weather. We don't have the luxury of the warm weather till December. The most this plant is going to go until will be October, November, early November, because by Thanksgiving, which is like the last week of November, we're beginning to have the frost. Okay, 2 more weeks in August. So hopefully by the next 3 weeks I could be able to pick some more. Alright, so now I'm going to go to the other side, and I really do hope you guys enjoy this video, and stay tuned for more stuff. Like I said, I was not really going to spend this long to do a video, but then like I say, if I'm doing on YouTube, I don't know if you guys can see the dragonfly. That dragonfly there eats 1,000 mosquitoes a day. You see? Now what it's looking for really there is water, or maybe it's calling some mosquitoes, because maybe some mosquitoes is down in there. You can see maybe you see another one over there. So they're not really harmful, you know, but they get rid of the mosquitoes, which is good, because this year we've been good. All right, so just for the records, look at this. See all this Sawa Sawa I got just from these two pots. You know, so grow your stuff, grow it. You gotta grow it. If you grow it, you'll be good. All right. So I'm gonna make it actually 45 minutes. So that's basically what's going on right now. It's gonna go up to 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna end the video. But this video is all about Sawa Sawa. So if you're really interested in growing Sawa Sawa, I've just given you a tip. You can get the seeds. You can plant the seeds in July. You can plant the seeds in June. You can plant the seeds in May, but May is a little bit cold, so you really gotta wait for June. You can plant them, and by, you see, like mid-August, you start harvesting them. And like I say, you will be able to harvest them from now till October, end of October. Okay, Sawa Sawa, as we call it, but the other people call it sorrel. Sorrel, S-O-R-R-E-L. And like I said, the Jamaicans use it to make the sorrel drink, and they don't really eat the leaves. They just make it a drink out of it. And that's the red one. But these ones that we usually will be doing will be the green ones. So when you do the water, it's gonna be green, right? It's not gonna be the red one, okay? So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is the man himself behind the camera. All right, so have fun and spread the word, and subscribe, click like.